New findings from the American Lung Association revealed around 120 million people are exposed to unhealthy levels of air pollution. But its State of the Air report for 2023 also showed that overall about 17 million fewer people are breathing unhealthy air compared to last year. Joining us now for more is Katherine Pruitt. She is the National Senior Director of Policy at the American Lung Association. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So does the report show a step at least in the right direction, but is there still more work to do?
Yes and yes. This year's State of the Air report does show, as you mentioned, that there are 17 million fewer people living with unhealthy levels of ozone and particle pollution. But at 120 million, or more than 1 in 3 people, that's still way too many people whose health is at risk from air pollution. We found that the levels of the improvements that we saw were primarily in the levels of ozone smog around the country, and that's a good sign. We have been working hard over the last couple of decades to reduce the sources of air pollution, and we feel that this is an indication of progress. However,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, however, it's a different story with particle pollution, which is continuing to rise, and that is a deadly pollutant that's affecting nearly 64 million people.
Okay, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because often when we think about smog, we think about this blanket that we're showing pictures right now that just hangs over a city. But 64 million people live in areas with daily spikes in deadly particle pollution. Can you tell us more about what was found in regards to that, and who's being affected by this?
Certainly. Spikes in particle pollution are usually caused by, they're different than annual particle pollution. They're sort of sources that produce a lot of pollution all at once, instead of sort of that steady level that you would see from traffic pollution, for example. And one of the things we've seen with short-term particle pollution is that the heat and drought in the western U.S. Has exacerbated the situation, causing catastrophic wildfires that have really produced these dangerous spikes.
So California accounted for 10 of the 11 most polluted counties or states. So what does the state need to do to improve unhealthy levels?
California has probably done more than any other state to work on reducing their sources of pollution, but they really can't do it alone. They have some situations in the state, including the way the geography is formed, that make air pollution difficult to keep clean. But they're working hard at it. We all need to make sure that we are taking steps to put in place regulations, things like converting to zero-emission vehicles, zero-emission buildings, that will help all of our areas reduce air pollution.
A little bit of what I'm getting from you is that, there are different reasons in different locations for why they're dealing with pollution, right? California and the wildfires, that's a really sort of unique combination of factors, because they're dealing with a, years-long drought. So the question is kind of big, because the question is, what can legislators do? But obviously, it's not just about cutting down emissions. That may be the case in some areas, but other areas may have other factors that need to be addressed.
Well, we do know that both, ozone particle pollution and greenhouse gases that are driving climate change are all coming primarily from human-generated pollutants. So the more that we can get those emissions under control, the more we can reduce the current levels of air pollution we're living with, but also start to reverse, we hope, the effects of climate change and the heat and drought that are driving wildfires.
Right. Things that need to be done immediately and things that need to be done in terms of a long-term revenue.
That's right.
Katherine Pruitt, thank you very much.
Thank you.